Hello, YouTube fans. Here we are again. Another exciting episode, Gardening with Vincenzo. And here we're going to get right to it. Today, we're going to talk about a couple of things, including this outbreak of the COVID-19 virus and what people can do in the future to avoid some of the problems associated with this quarantine and the stores and the passing of germs and the food insecurity that this is causing, etc. Back again, YouTube fans, and here we go. We're going to talk about some recycling. We're going to talk about the Black & Decker firestorm, and we're going to talk about reusing the disposables. Honey, I'm not going to make them disposable. These are what comes to me every 3 months for my insulin shipping. They cold pack it because insulin has to be shipped, temperature sensitive and all that. Kept minus, to at least 40 degrees. And a couple of things. The lid, if you use the lid, you can put little cups in there, fill them with water, put a hole in the cups. You can do a bunch of those Dixie cups in here like I kind of showed you before. I took the measurements of the box. The box is 6 inches wide and 8 inches deep right to the level there. So we're going to put the lid on this. We're going to turn it upside down. We're going to take our Firestorm, Black & Decker. I love this thing. I use it all the time. And we're going to put a 5/16 inch bit in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to drill some holes in the bottom here. And we're going to make it look like a dice. The 5 on a dice. Now you see these little wispy pieces of the styrofoam right there on the drill bit? That's pretty much what's inside your Pro Mix. So we've got 5 holes in here. We're going to take the lid off because that saved us from getting a mess everywhere. We're going to try and get these off because everybody knows styrofoam, it's like electrostatically charged and it gets everywhere. So we're just going to try to get that off. We're going to fast change the bit, which is one of the great things with this Firestorm. And we're good to go. Alright, we're going to set him aside. And we're going to talk some more about recycling here. Now these, as everybody knows, they're insulated. It's styrofoam. So it really is an insulated grower is what it is. And today, what I'm going to grow in this particular one, although you can use these for many things. You could grow beans in this, one pepper plant, a tomato plant, a purple egg plant. Beets would work well in here. Carrots would work well in here. A lot of different onions would work well in here. A lot of things you can put in this little box. And once you have it drilled, you can reuse it over and over and over again. If you stack them up together and you put them together, 3 of them together, 6 of them together, you got a nice little section of container planters. Today what I'm going to plant in mine is a rainbow carrot mixed. And if you look at the back of a Danvers half long, which is a shorter version of the carrots, the days to harvest is 70, 14 days on the germination, and everyone has some little trick for planting the carrots. Carrots and potatoes are probably the 2 easiest things in the world to grow. Boy, that's going to frustrate me, all those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my dirt that's already been moistened. And we're going to kind of carefully dump it in here and fill this up. I'll clean up the mess afterwards. I had a nice box I was going to stick underneath there, but I have another use for that one. So anyway, we've got our nice dirt here, our soil mix, which has the little styrofoam, and it's vermiculite. It's kind of like a rock, but the little pieces of styrofoam would work almost equal to keep the soil have that consistency. In fact, I used to think that's what this was styrofoam. All right, didn't even need that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingers to the first digit, and we're going to put one indentation per inch. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 times 4. That's 24 carats we can get in this particular container. Now there's videos out there where somebody takes a Q-tip or a toothpick or that kind of thing. I'm not going to do that. That's way too time consuming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take there and I'm going to put them in one at a time. I don't even have to thin them or anything. This is how fast it can go for doing the seeding of the carrots. We've already got our holes drilled. The soil's already warmed. We know that our seeds are going to germinate. They actually could be put outside, even though it's not springtime and we have some snow out there. Okay, there we go. That's how fast to seed that. No special tools, just your fingers. Now getting the seed back in the pack's going to be the trick. No, that should be okay. Alright, we did that. Seal them back up. Plenty of seeds. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say. Now, in order... the carrot seeds are small. They say put 1/8 of an inch. Just tap your box. It'll self-level. The seed will be all covered. Now, if you wanted to use this as a hot box, real easy. Just take some plastic wrap. Pull out a piece of plastic wrap. Somebody didn't put the lock on that. Measure it out. Use the cutting bar. It's on the top on these, which is really rather frustrating. There we go. So say you want to turn this into the hot box or a little grow box because it's not quite warm enough outside. So you can just take and center that. It's nicer if it's nice and straight. You don't have to stretch it quite so much. And here's what you can do. Just put it right on the top like that. Get it flat. Your common tooth thumbtack. Thumbtack the corners. That way you can lift it up when you need to. Stretch it tight towards the one side. Turn that. Stretch it. Stick it right in there. Pull it tight on this side. Just put your thumbtack right in there. Same thing on this side. And there you have basically a hot box. I'm going to put one in the center too. When you start to see your seedlings, when the weather comes up, this is going to go down into my greenhouse now that they're planted. And since those are the half longs, those will work real perfect there. In case you haven't seen these are Danvers half longs. Excuse me. So with all this hysteria, which some of it's called for, some of it isn't, regarding this COVID virus, the one thing that it should be pointing out is that we've become far too complacent with our own food security. And I'm a firm believer in, growing as much as you can grow your own food. Go ahead and do that. I have chickens. I get fresh eggs. I leave my chickens. They're kind of like pets, but they also give me the benefit of having fresh eggs. I have supplies and seeds that I have. I've done many videos on how to grow things, how to perpetuate, how to root things, and I feel better about that. If I had a separate source of electricity, I would be much happier. I have generator, in case of emergency circumstances. But anyway, back to reusing, rejuvenating instead of replacing. Here's a prime example. Now this has been done up. It's good to go. You can use this over and over again, season upon season. If you wanted to store things in it, the lid will still go over top of it, just like that. So these little pro packs for everybody that's diabetic that gets their insulin shipped to them the way I do, there you go. These are pretty inexpensive. I think you can probably pick these up for $1 or so a piece. And there you go. You've got a great little container to grow. Like I said, you could put beets in here, get 6 nice big beets, maybe even 9 if you space them properly. You could get probably 6 real nice bean plants in here. You could definitely use this as a gardening by the foot. You can stack them. These glue together with wood glue. You can put them together, frame it, make a nice little planter out of it actually. Just frame the outside of it. So it has many uses. And I breathed some of that in, so forgive me here. Some of the dust from that. So here's another video. I hope that it encourages people to rethink out of the envelope a little bit. Almost anything can be made into a planter. These are great. That's why I saved them. I have probably a half a dozen or so that I end up using. I had another video. I store my potatoes in them once they start growing chits on them. The eyes on the potatoes called a chit. So I hope that everybody enjoyed it. I hope it encourages you to try a little bit. If you have a balcony, you're on a patio, you could decorate these if you wanted to. Get little stickers, put them on the outside. Pictures. You could tape the picture of the current seed that's growing inside. You could have some fun with it. I have fun with things all the time. So here's another video, Gardening with Vincenzo. We can save this planet 1 yard at a time, beginning with your own. You are what you eat. Fresh is always best. Grow as a person. Plant a garden. And start to teach the young. You grandparents out there, sit down with your grandchild. When you get the seed catalogs or you see the seed catalogs, have the child go in and pick out the stuff that they like to eat, and it's usually the colorful things like the fruits in that, and have them cut it out of the picture and make a collage for you. That might be some consideration for things to grow. I know my grandson, I take him when I go pick. Look, here's where the tomatoes come from. Look, Here's a fresh cucumber. You see how it's attached to the vine. These are all good things. Look, a carrot. You know, and another good thing about the carrots, if you take a carrot and stick it in a microwave for about 4 or 5 minutes on high, and take the carrot out of there and close your eyes and just fork it because it'll be soft by then, you'll think you're eating a sweet potato. It's amazing. Another tip for you. All right, gardening with Vincenzo. Be safe out there.